Non-right angled triangle trigonometry. This is just an overview. You can get all of this from the basic diagram if you need it. Remember, when we label triangles, our angles are labelled with capital A, B and C, and the sides opposite the triangles are labelled with their lowercase letter, so little a, b and c. Sides opposite the angles, I'm sorry. The sine rule and the cosine rule can both be used for finding sides or finding angles in non-right angled triangles, and they've both got alternative versions, rearranged the rule or the equation for finding sides and finding angles. So the sine rule for finding a side, A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Remember, at any stage when you're doing the working for this, you only need to show two, A over sine A and C over sine C, for example. So you show the ones that have the sides that you're using. So that's your sine rule for finding sides. For finding angles, it's just the other way up. Sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C. Again, you choose to use two pairs of matching side and angle. And this gives you the information that you need to know if we can use the sine rule. We can use the sine rule if we have a side and its matching angle. Or opposite angle is a better word. If we've got a side and the angle opposite and one other piece of information, we can use the sine rule. Now the cosine rule, people tend to find a little trickier, but there's times when you can't use the sine rule, you have to use the cosine rule. Again, it's got a rearranged version for finding sides and for finding angles. So for finding sides, a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And for finding angles, remembering of course that when we're finding angles, we will find cos A, would have to find just angle A by using inverse cos. Now remember of course that the cosine rule can be written in terms of any of the sides and any of the angles. So you can have b squared equals a squared plus c squared, and you can find cos b and cos c. So the rearranged versions of these are good ideas to have on your cheat sheet in a test. If you want to use the cosine rule, you need to have either three sides for finding any angle, or two sides and the included angle for finding sides. A reminder, if you can't remember which version of the rule is for finding sides and which is for finding angles, each rule starts with the thing that it's going to be finding. So, in the sine rule, with a side on top of the first thing, that's where we start reading, that's what we're going to be finding. Whereas when we start reading on the one for finding angles with the sine rule, we start reading at an angle. So the top left is an angle. And the same for the cosine rule, we start reading with finding a side, or we start reading and we're finding an angle. So choose the right rule, and I'll make another video showing you how to apply them.